Thermal Jawbreaker nails. If you've been on Instagram lately or TikTok, you might have seen these gorgeous trending nails going around, and I thought that I could try them with dip powders because all I've seen them done with was with gels. What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer. I'm going to start off by telling you right now, it was a disaster. If you like to see people make a mess of their nails and try something really fun, you are in the right place. My nickname for this mani is my moldy spore nails, so that right there is going to tell you how this is gonna go today. If you know me and you've watched my other videos, I definitely like to try all kinds of things. Even if I have no idea how it's gonna go, I pretty much never try anything on a swatch stick first. I just go for it because you know what? I'm doing my nails at home and like many of you are, and it's supposed to be fun. So the nails that I saw, I will make sure that I link the person's Instagram in the description where I originally saw the design from. And I thought, all right, I can do this with dip powder. You know, I know so many of you like to use dip powder and everybody can't use gels or doesn't want to use gels. And I thought there had to be a way to do this with dips. And I decided to do it with pink because I've really been feeling the pink nails lately. If I could do pink, a dark pink, a light pink, and a white, it should work. I was going to start with white on the bottom, but then for some reason I decided to go with pink as the base to the light pink. The light pink I'm using is called All About That Base. Then the white is Casper. The darker pink is called I Want Passion, even if it's harder and hurts more. And all of them are from OG Dip Powder. I definitely realized as I was dipping the white that I should have gone with the white first because when I was dipping it, even though it's a super opaque color, it's still going to have a little bit of the pink show through. So I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen as I'm dipping the white, and it still looks kind of how like it has a pink tint to it. I did do 2 dips of the lightest pink, the All About That Base, just because it was so light. I didn't want to accidentally file through down to the bottom layers of my peel base. I do have peel base on over my builder gel. Once I got the white layer done, then I decided to do the darkest pink layer. And at this point, I started to notice that my nails were looking really thick. I did not do my application very well. So I'm thinking, oh man, I'm going to have to like do the little jawbreaker thermal like holes. I don't know, whatever people want to call them. I'm going to have to do them in some of the areas of my nail that got really thick. Now the pink popped through on the top. I feel like I could have used 2 layers of the pink to make it really pop, because you'll see I do the dark pink color on my thumb, my middle finger, and my pinky, and that's where you can really see what the color is. You'll notice at the end that it's darker than my nails that I had done like the multiple different color layers on. This is all a learning experience for me. I just like to try stuff and go for it, and to be honest, I never really know what's going to happen. Some of the things that I like to make sure I do when I'm dipping solids is I like to pour my powders over. That really helps me to get a nice thin even application. Even for the nails that were really thick and chunky, I poured those powders over as well so that they wouldn't be as thick as they would have been had I not poured them over. Anytime I'm applying any kind of dip base or gel base as well, I make sure I wipe off a majority of the product on the inside of the bottle, whether it's the dip bottle or the gel bottle. Wiping off the majority of the liquids on the inside of the bottle, make sure that you don't apply the powder, you don't apply the gel as thick as you would had you not wiped some of it off. Because if you just go and like slop it right onto your nail, it's going to be thick, which means for dip liquids that your liquids might not fully harden all the way through. And when you're using dip base, you want to make sure when you're wiping off the excess liquid from your brush, you do it on the inside rim of your bottle. Don't get it on the outside of your rim, outside of the bottle, like on the rim or anywhere else. That's when you're going to get your liquid sealed shut. I've seen a lot of people say in like some of the general Facebook groups that I'm in for nails that their bottles have gotten stuck, and it tends to be when you get the product on the outside of it. Now, some liquids are super finicky that even if you're really careful and you barely get any base on the outside of the bottle rim, that you can get them stuck. When I was using more finicky liquids, the OG ones are not finicky like that. I am just more careful and only, wipe off the excess liquids on the inside of my bottle. But some of the ones that I used to use, since I've used over 25 brands of dip liquids, some of the ones that were really finicky and sealed shut easily, I would wipe Vaseline on the outside rims. I know some people say they use cuticle oil too. So those are some options if you know that you have liquids that are more difficult to work with or are finicky and are easily sealed shut. You can just wipe the outside with Vaseline or cuticle oil. You want to keep your rims nice and greased up. I'm sorry. It's been a long week, and what is today? Today's Thursday as I'm filming the voiceover. Once I finished all the nails, then I went through and I activated the 2 fingers that I was going to do the Jawbreaker thermal on. I knew that those would take longer to harden since they were really thick, so I wanted to activate them before I even went and put clear dip powder over my thumb, middle finger, and pinky. I always put clear over all of my dip colors when I'm using dip liquids. I put them over whether it's a solid, a shimmer, a flake, a foil, a glitter, everything. I am a huge proponent of using clear dip powder as your last dip. If you're somebody who's going to buff and file and shape at all, the clear is going to protect your colors, your glitters, whatever dip you're using, that protects it when you file and shape. And after you worked so hard to do this beautiful mani, the last thing you want to do is accidentally file too far down into your nails and pull off some of the colors. I don't end up doing clear over my pointer and ring finger because I already had 4 layers of dip on. I really didn't want to do a 5th, especially since I use builder gel as a base. I mean, my nails would have been insanely thick, but stick around. You'll see what happens and how they look, and it's gonna be a little bit of a mess. I finished up the clear on the solid nails, and then I went through, brushed off any excess clear, and activated those. This way, while the solid nails harden, then I go through and I did my other hand. That's typically what I do when I'm doing both hands at one night, which is pretty much almost always. I always try to do both hands at one night, even though I do mismatch manis, because I don't want to spend a million nights doing my nails. Now we're getting to the good stuff. I grabbed a gritty file, my 80 grit file from Sally Beauty, and tried to file down on my dip powder like I've seen people do on the Instagram videos I was watching of how to do Jawbreaker nails. Well, it really wasn't working much, and then I realized, oh my gosh, dip powder is way thicker than gels. I'm gonna have to bust out my e-file. So I busted out a fine bit and I started drilling down, and this is where I realized, why do my nails look so weird? Why don't they look like the pictures and the videos that I saw on Instagram? So at this point, I just had to go with it. I was trying to be really careful when I was filing. I didn't want to file so far down that then I hit my peel base, but I know on my ring finger, I ended up hitting my peel base. There's just nothing I could do. I tried, okay? And you'll see on my ring finger, there's some weird chunk of dip on the left side of it because I accidentally missed a spot with the dark pink dip powder. So I tried to throw some over the side, on the side of it, thinking that it'd be okay since I was doing this little thermal action going on. I'm looking at my nails and I'm laughing the whole time I'm filing them because they literally look like mold to me. They look like weird moldy spore. Someone even said to me they look like those mushroom nails. I was just laughing when I was doing this because, again, like I said, I do my nails at home for fun. I like to try different things, and it made me a little bit sad for a second because I'm like, man, I really love this pink color. But you know what? I just went with it. Then I went in and I tried to fix up the cuticle lines on my pointer and ring finger because they were so chunky. And I forgot that I didn't have clear dip powder over them. So you can see there's a little bit of the lighter pink and the white poking out at the back near my cuticles because when I went around the cuticles, it ended up taking off some of that pink color. Again, I just went with it. Some people ask me why don't you just try doing what nail art you want to do on a swatch stick? But that seems like way too much effort. I don't have that kind of time. I have 3 kids. I work. I don't have time to practice stuff on swatches. I just like to go for it. And that's my personality too. There was definitely divots in my nails. I decided not to try to fill it with top coat, and I decided not to go over with gels. So I just lived with some bumpy ass nails for a week and just went with it because you know what? I tried, okay? It was fun. If you want to keep having fun with me doing nails, check out this next video where we fake an ombre with using a thermal dip powder. Thanks so much for joining me today, nail crew.